Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to elaborate over the next couple of minutes more into modernization of high-rise buildings. Now, when we look at the installation base of installed units, then we talk about more than 100,000 skyscrapers, which were built over the last 30 years. Value of office space and also the price of office space increased during this time dramatically. A shutdown of a complete building is in the meantime impossible. And the building usage pattern, they changed over the time, not only a little bit, they changed dramatically. Traffic demand and traffic pattern, they change in cycles which we could not imagine 20, 30 years ago. So when we look also at the number of installed buildings over the last 15, 30 years, which are over 200 meters, we have here an installation base which requires already now modernization solutions. And I would like to build here on the previous presentation and some statements here in the morning. We need to have green, sustainable solutions, and we need to upgrade those buildings. Now, modernization happens in an existing building. And this is a huge difference to new installation, where you build from scratch. You have tenants in the building. You need to consider all these requirements also during your modernization steps and how you want to do modernization. When you look at the life cycle of an elevator, you can debate how long an elevator lasts until you need to do mod. What you need to be aware that sooner or later you need to upgrade your system to keep up with performance, you keep up with the latest safety standards. But you also need to be aware if you do not modernize, sooner or later your system costs quite a bit of money because you are not energy efficient anymore. Your operating costs become too high and you may have too long waiting times and your tenants walk away. So if you have an existing building, it's important to plan from time to time a certain batch of modernization. To build on that, to modernize, you need to be more green. You need to come along with smart solutions. And last but not least, it needs to be safe. The safety standards which were in place 20, 30 years ago are not on a level like they are today. There it needs to be an upgrade. Traffic performance, traffic management was not an issue 30 years ago, or not on that level. And you need to have really a reduction of energy consumption. Later on, I will show you a couple of examples how much it is possible to reduce energy in a building. Now, what are the major core components? You are all out of the elevator industry, so drive, control, door, car hoistway are the major components, but also do not forget about all the aesthetics things you have, because also your tenants like to have a nice design, or when building design needs to be upgraded, also those things need to plug in. Besides, let's say, an energy efficient drive or a more intelligent controller system, a door system that works hassle-free, and last but not least also LED technology everywhere so that you can reduce your energy consumption. Now, this is a machine room like you find on many sites, quite an old one. So also here you see we need to change to new technology. When you look also at the fixtures, some people say it still looks nice, but I believe something like that looks nicer and is more state-of-the-art. Also car interiors, you find such solutions or cars everywhere. So a nice design, and at the end also nice doors. So how does the process works to do a modernization? The most important thing is to do first the proper analysis of your current equipment, site surveys, traffic analysis, energy consumption analysis. Also, what's the gap to the latest safety rules? And last but not least, what the customer expects on certification level. Does he want to have at the end a green certification? Do we go for LEED? So there you need to be aware what he wants. In there we need to find solutions, clear elevator engineering defined. Traffic flow management during installation is in high-rise building an extremely important issue, which you already in the tender stage need to think about it. Order processing and logistics, but also the transition management of your tenants to a new system needs to be considered, how you want to manage that. We did that, for instance, also for one of the biggest hospitals in Switzerland some time ago. So it's interesting with what easy arrangements you can get people transferred to a port or destination control system. Then, as on high-rise, it's important also project management, but the material dispatch on site, but then also how you arrange the site logistics. So, what are your 7 incentives in modernization? For sure, safety. You need to match the latest safety standard. Reliability. You want to really have a reliable system. Callbacks out. Comfort. Ride quality. But also how you experience the travel. So maybe also a car entertainment system. Aesthetics. I said, don't underestimate the aesthetics. A nice appearance of an elevator system adds value to a building. And the economics. So you should have an economical solution, payback of your investment. And the performance is a huge issue, which you really need to are able in a high-rise building to improve by new technology. And number 7, green. I mean, you need to think about your environment and customers. Also more do. So also there you need to match customer expectations to the right direction. So what is the advantage of an owner or for a facility management of a high-rise building with port or a destination control system? If you modernize, you are able to solve performance issue. We have here and there on the elevated building. Sometimes we even need to play a little bit with the zones to get the traffic performance right. You have afterwards a flexible system configuration. If you have suddenly a hotel somewhere between the zones or restaurants, you're able to manage them. Then certainly operating cost reduction, and last but not least, you have also state-of-the-art access system with that. During installation, and this is important, you are able to conduct step-by-step mod. So you have an 8-car group, you take one elevator after the other out of operation and are able to modernize. Now, with a clever destination or port system, you are able to maintain or even improve the performance during installation. You, in the first step, replace the outdated technology with an overlay, and with that you are able to actually get the modernization on a way that actually is for a tenant acceptable, because you maintain the traffic and you are able to manage in an existing building the traffic flow perfectly. Now give me a couple of examples of challenges we had. Here is a project in Spain. We switched from a single deck elevator to a double deck elevator in the same shaft. Of course, we had a couple of challenges with the shaft size we had. top hat with a restaurant in it, and at the end, we also had to look and solve it with a destination control system. Deutsche Bank in Frankfurt, German bank. Challenges were electrically and mechanical, complete LEED certification to platinum level. It's quite some years ago, so we did that some years ago, and with that project, we actually set up all the tools and template. So there were lots of projects following, which actually we used these templates and tools that we could go through further LEED certification. Green, certainly, and on the energy consumption measured, we achieved 53% reduction in energy consumption. So here lays the money. Customized VIP control and port here. Shell tower. Here the challenge was the special requirements on the traffic flow management within the building. Elimination of waiting times. We solved it also beside modernizing mechanically the elevators with one single overlay system managing all the elevators and the whole traffic flow signalization through the building with our port or technology. Energy consumption was an issue, which was just a side effect. Now, when we go to certain seismic zones, you need to understand for sure the code and standards. It's clear for all in the elevator industry, but the seismic requirements are often, when you do modernization, quite a bit of a challenge, which you need to take care about. Then also, when you interface third-party components or competitor components, it's a challenge, it's possible. There are solutions around. We did here a 8-car group of a competitor installation, also first installing overlay, then step by step taking one of the other elevator out of operation. And at the end, we were able to keep traffic performance there. Also, transportation, transfer arrangement then of the tenants need to be clearly set up. Here, one project with a challenge on the mechanical side, especially on the logistics arrangement. We had limited machine room space, so we had to find their solutions. And it was also logistically a challenge to get a new machine into the machine room. Also, such issues with face. And remember, earlier I said you need to look at what your existing installation look like and then find the best solution you can somehow have. And there it's important to do proper site survey and offer the customer really a solution which works. Also a project on the past, overlay system over 24 elevators in over 3 zones, interfacing existing DC machines which were still okay. So also there it's important you can measure and analyze what of the existing equipment is excellent, still in a good condition, and where you better put in your money to get an efficient and proper solution. Now looking at the portfolio, I mean we have worldwide, the elevator portfolio is South America, high-rise portfolio, but also India, Middle East, then South Africa, we have lots of cities with high-rise. Australia, lots of cities with high-rise units which are also in modernization. South America, Southeast Asia, of course, but also, and this is probably the biggest portfolio, Northern America, which actually the first high-rises were built many, many years ago. Where do we support you? We support you certainly on the new installation side with construction, building as green as possible, but also on the operations, maintenance and upgrade side, on modernization, where we try to come along with solutions which are attractive, which upgrade, and which increase the value of your buildings. Thank you.